How you doing, folks? Yours truly, Rant here for today's talk. You know, again, talking about the recent killings that happened in Minnesota as well as Baton Rouge. We as African Americans as well as the greater society have been, protesting, marching, raising our voices for many, 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 many years, you know. And, one thing that is quite apparent to me is that no matter how much we as African Americans um, raise our voices and protest and quite frankly just say, stop shooting us, we can talk about this. There has to be a different way, there has to be a better way. Uh, our cries go unheard and unheralded uh, as it continues to happen and continues to happen. So much so to the point where a lot of us get to the point where, you know what, I'm just numb to the whole thing, and we still realize just how awful this is, but we've become numb because, we've prayed, we've marched, we've preached, we've prayed, we've prayed, and still nothing happens. Well, one thing I think, and of course there are many things that need to happen, but one thing I think that really needs to happen is that white people need to start raising their voices. Uh, they need to be taking it to the streets as well, and many of them are. Don't get me wrong, but white people, as one, need to raise their voices, lift up their hands, and say enough, enough. Sandy Burnaby is a friend of mine. She's part of the anti-racist coalition, and she has quite a few titles that, um, as of this recording, I'm not really familiar with, but I will certainly mention them at the end of this recording. She had a statement there, and I saw it on Facebook as we're friends on Facebook, and the statement reads, "It's time for white people to rise up and take a stand to end police misconduct. That is our work. People of color, go home and be safe. This is white people's mess." Now, I would definitely say it's everybody's mess. But I see her point. You know, um, it's up to all of us, yes, to continue raising our voices. But you know what? White people need to lead the way because, as far as I'm concerned, black people have done all that we could do. Certainly, we've got some skin in this game. We've got some blood in this game, and the game needs to stop. It just needs to stop. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or otherwise. There's no need for people to be murdered in the streets like animals. You know, there's no need for it. And I'll tell you something else. I noticed that, and to his credit, Carmelo Anthony spoke out and said that, hey, other stars or celebrities, especially those in the NBA or Major League Baseball or what have you, uh, he's imploring them to join him in speaking out and you know calling for justice. Quite frankly, and to his credit, he's doing the right thing. He's doing the moral thing. But what I would add to that, uh, for Carmelo, as well as a whole lot of other guys, LeBron, uh, Michael Jordan, and a whole bunch of others, and a whole bunch of others. You know what? You guys have made not just a lot of money, but you've made what they call generational wealth. Let's face it, all right? And that generational wealth, a lot of it, I ain't gonna say most of it, I'm not gonna say all of it, certainly not all of it, but a lot of it came from we, the African American community. We support you, unendingly support you. In my opinion, I think what you need to do is take some serious looks in your community and see that there's some talent here that has been untapped and it needs to be tapped. Invest some money in the neighborhood, in your community. I'm not saying that, you owe us, and no, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, invest some of that generational wealth back into the community. You know, I think it's time, and certainly a lot of them are. Certainly, kudos to LeBron James as I think he's put up $41 million, okay, over whatever amount of time to send children to college. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. And giving up that $41 million hasn't sent him to the poorhouse either. Okay, give up some of that generational wealth, and not just give it up, but invest it. Invest it in us. You can certainly invest it in me, and I'll give you my contact information. I'm serious. you know, you can certainly invest it in me and all of us. I'm yours truly, Randy Rand. This has been my rant for today's talk. Good night, and thank you for the time.